And welcome to another episode of Experts Speak. I am Michael DeLon, and today I am talking with Samantha Kozuch. And well, Samantha, first of all, thank you for spending some time with me today.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited to be here.
Well, you are welcome. It's going to be a great conversation. Samantha is the creator of the Manuscripting Journal, and we're going to talk today about really how can you design your life to be what you want it to be using this tool that Samantha created. So as we dive in, Samantha, tell me, how in the world did you get to doing this and creating this journal?
It's a wild journey and a wild story. Never did I thought in a million years I'd be sitting with you here today talking about a product-based company that I own. And it started off with, I jumped into entrepreneurship right out of college. So I've been in the game for about a decade now.
Okay.
And as I jumped in, it was more, I started with just entrepreneurship as far as I was modeling, acting. I created a video production company. I became an influencer on social media before the word influencer was even ever a thing. All of a sudden, I was moving into selling coaching plans, and I became an online business coach and just doing all of these things in the online space. And then it wasn't until almost 3 years ago, so when COVID hit, I started sharing with my social media community things that I was doing to stay stress-free, to kind of like, during this time of uncertainty and unknown, and everything was scary and things were shutting down. Everyone was losing jobs and income and what's going to happen next. I just started sharing my morning routine of journaling and meditation. And this was actually a system that I had created for myself about 8 years prior, when I got to a point in my life that I considered like my personal rock bottom. And I was like, I need to change my life. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know who to turn to. And I just started kind of reading and researching and doing mindset work and self-development work. And I created this tool of, okay, let's journal every single day on what it is that I want from my life. What are my goals? Getting super clear on that, created vision boards. And so basically I started just sharing this on social media, which I'd never done before because my online stuff was very much geared towards business coaching and social media coaching and all of that, right? So I wasn't mixing personal with business very much. But when I started sharing it, I started getting feedback from my community like, oh my gosh, this works. Oh my gosh, where can I download this journal prompts that you're talking about? How can I get this in like a really concise method? And I was all of a sudden like, oh my gosh, I have something here.
Yeah.
And it was something that I had been doing for so long that I just thought everybody did it. Didn't everybody write down their goals and, figure out what they really wanted for their lives and had this visualization process? And I came to learn that no, they didn't. So immediately with that download, I was all like, oh my God, this is it. And I listened to my gut and intuition. And I just literally jumped into manufacturing a journal. I literally had no idea what I was doing. I've never done a physical product before.
Yeah.
And I just went for it. And here I am today sitting in front of you almost 3 years later, thousands and thousands of customers later, multi-million dollars later, created this incredible product with this incredible community that is literally helping so many people change their lives.
That's awesome. I love that story, Samantha. Thank you for sharing all of that because it resonates with so many things from my life and in my journey and a lot of my listeners as well. But I think you hit on something is, yeah, people don't have this morning routine where we are the way I look at it is I get centered so that I can then explode through the day.
Yeah.
And everybody has different methods and things, but what I find is I talk with business owners, they hear a lot of people talking about journaling or meditating or getting centered or what. They don't do it for whatever reason. So let's unpack this process that you've gone through, that you now have in your journal, and how does it help somebody to really, goals, we've all goals, you got to have goals, but goals without the rest of it are really just, they're not there. So unpack that for me.
Yeah. So with the journal and how I created it is it can take you from 10 minutes to half an hour. It just depends how deep you want to get with it with yourself. And the biggest thing that I find, and I find this even for myself, Like, yes, it is hard to sit down and journal and meditate and do that morning centering routine. And it is a discipline just like anything else. Just like you treat tasks in your business, just like it is working out and going to the gym, just like it is eating healthy or whatever are the things that you're doing. This process too, as well, is something that you just have to dedicate that time for and make it a priority. But really what it comes down to is with the method and the system that I've created is it really starts with you just taking that time to get clear. It starts with gratitude, obviously, then goes into what you're open to receiving. Then it goes into a little bit of habit tracking. But my most favorite part on it is that you write down 3 inspired action steps that you're going to take that day.
Yeah.
Because when you first do this first thing in the morning, say you do have a couple minutes to meditate, and I'm not saying you have to sit there and meditate for 60 minutes or something,
Right.
like literally, even if it's like 5 minutes to just like, okay, get centered, get clear, like, and just ask yourself, like, what is it that I want to call in today? What is it that I need to know? What is it that I have to do? Like literally just giving yourself that space for that question and then just listening to what comes through.
Yeah.
We are so intuitive. We receive so much information and download, so to speak. And this isn't even to sound woo-woo or spiritual. Like
Right.
we are energetic beings and we are constantly have energy flowing through us. And that's how we receive our information.
Yeah.
So by allowing yourself to have this space to write that stuff down first thing in the morning, it's 100% going to help you supercharge your day with keeping that stuff top of mind versus getting on social media and scrolling first thing and being impacted by everything else in the world, or opening up your emails or responding to text messages, or God forbid, watching the news and stuff like that,
Right.
and just like clogging up, your mental energy and space in your mind. So
That no,
really
that
starting
that's
with,
well, it's good because when you wake up, the first hour, 2 hours, whatever time period it is really the precious time to buy back the margin and not necessarily rush into the day, but to have that morning routine to go, I'm going to choose to. All right, so I'm a follower of Christ, and all through the
Mhm.
Bible it says, set your mind on
Yes.
things of God, of things of the right.
Mhm.
And I thought, well, how do I set my mind? And too many times it's in the moment, right? Using my conscious mind. A lot of that really is setting my subconscious mind by saying, okay, what is I'm teaching this to my girls who are 13 and 15 to go,
Yeah.
what are the 3 goals you have for today? What actions are you going to take? How are you going to show up? What's your attitude? Very much what you're talking about. I find adults and business owners don't do that. I don't know
Yeah.
why. I think sometimes we've been told it, not taught how, and not given a methodology that we can grab onto. And I love how you said it doesn't take 30, 60, 90 minutes. It could take 15. Talk about the practicality, I guess, of all of that.
Yeah. Literally, when I first even started doing this for myself, I was excited because I really had this driver of I'm sick and tired of my life, or I'm sick and tired of not accomplishing the things that I say I'm going to do. I want to change. And I had that motivation and that driver behind it. So sometimes it's good to just be like, literally, what do you hate about your life? Like, what is that you really want to change? And then when I created this journal, I literally created it in a way where it literally can take you just 15 minutes. And it's something that you're excited about doing. Just like when you start any sort of other habit or routine, like say you start going to the gym and working out, what are you going to usually do? Maybe get some new shoes, get a new workout outfit,
Yeah.
get a membership, maybe you start doing all these other things. So just think about making the habit and this routine of journaling and meditating exciting. So what I teach inside my community is create the space for it. Like when I first started doing this, I had a whole little meditation journaling corner in my room where I had a cute pillow set up and my journal was there, and I had my music player so I can connect my iPhone to it on Bluetooth, and I had it in a way where I knew that, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to go do my journaling routine versus waking up and you just have this like journal, maybe somewhere it's in the living room, and then you have these things all over the house and you're running around to pick it up. Like it just doesn't happen. So when you just get yourself organized and excited about doing it, maybe it is buying a new journal, maybe it's just buying a pen, maybe it's just creating that fun space to like sit down and go do it. Make it exciting for yourself, and that way you actually are excited to go do it, and you'll actually stick to that process and routine.
Yeah, that is so good. And the other thing that I'm going to put in here, and you can give me your feedback and tell me, Michael, you're all wrong. I think a lot of times when we hear meditation, we're going to meditate or whatever. I think for the longest time, I pushed back because I'm like, meditation is emptying your mind and getting down. And I fought that until recently I heard somebody say, yeah, that doesn't work for me. My brain runs too much. He's like, meditating for me is focusing, getting my mind quiet, buying the space, but then focusing maybe on my top 3 priorities for the week, the day, the career, whatever it is. That to me is more where I buy into meditating versus sitting there with my legs crossed going, this is uncomfortable, right? Is that fair?
Yes, 100%. And I think over the years, that's where this whole misinformation about meditation happened. I don't know why or how it started, but it is literally impossible to clear your mind of all thoughts. Impossible. Impossible. And I think that's also why people are a little bit, not necessarily afraid, but they don't meditate because maybe they tried it once or twice for like 2 minutes and they're like, oh, screw this. Like, I can't shut it off. What's the point? I'm not doing it right. What's the point, right? But that's why I tell my community, especially for newbies getting started, ask yourself that question, literally, what am I open to receiving today? Whether it is God that you talk to, source, spirit, whatever, it doesn't matter what you believe in. It's literally ask yourself the question, or even just start with guided meditations. Guided meditations on YouTube, free, 5 minutes, 10-minute guided meditation. Guide yourself through it. The whole point is exactly what you said. If you cannot, like, quote unquote, clear your mind, which I don't know anyone that can, focus on that one thing. And that's what I love to do. It's like, okay, what do I need to do today? And you won't even believe it, Michael, that there have been multi-million-dollar ideas that have come to me through meditation because I just focused on that one question. I have made so many business decisions through meditation that otherwise, who knows if it would have ever come to me the way that it did. Maybe I would have made the wrong decision. I don't know, but it is such a powerful tool. And I think the way it's been stigmatized through social media and everything to be like super spiritual and super guru, like in a way where like, it's a turnoff to a lot of people.
It totally is, because I never had the right incense going and the pillow, and it's none of that. It's really it's the margin of life to say, this is my time to get centered on a question or a focus. And when you have a journal like you've created, you can actually write down, okay, where am I going? What do I want to accomplish in the next 90 days, 1 year, 5 years? Where do I want to be? And then when you sit down every morning to focus, to meditate, whatever, you can look at that and go, what actions can I take today that's going to move me a step closer to that? And then you pause and you just let your mind go and write down whatever comes to it, because occasionally it's a great idea, right?
Exactly right.
And it's just so it's simple, but it also comes back to routine. Okay, so I've got a morning routine that happens. It starts at 5:25 every morning, and it's just like clockwork, right? But it's motivating every day. Every night when I go to bed, I've got a routine before I go to bed. Every morning when I wake up, I've got a routine, and it just helps me capture that and stay on track. And it's interesting because I started with kind of four or five areas of my life, and now it's kind of broadened out. But I find clarity in all areas of my life because I know I'm making progress. Is that what you help people get to?
Yes, exactly. And that's like one of the biggest things that I preach is, especially when you're starting to do this lifestyle overhaul and you want to design your life, don't go and change literally everything about it, from implementing a morning routine to a new workout plan, to a meal plan, to this, to that, to the other. You're going to fail because it is just too much changing at once. Just start with the one thing. Start with the one thing, get really good at it. And then once you are super consistent with it, like it's a no-brainer at this point, like it's just automatic and quote unquote routine, then add in the next thing, then add that in, and then the next thing. Because what we tend to do as humans is like those that really want to just start a whole bunch of things all at the same time, we start giving up because it's exciting for a second, but then it's just too much to keep up. But if we start something, just the one thing, and have success with it, that's that win. That's that addiction to like, oh my gosh, I did it. That means I can go do the next thing. And oh my gosh, I did that. And then you feel successful versus, oh man, I skipped a day in the gym, 2 days in the gym. Oh, well, I skipped the days in the gym. What's the point of eating healthy now?
That's
Oh
right.
my gosh, you know what? Screw it all. I don't even want to journal anymore because I tried. And then we give up. And then people wonder why, like, they can't change their lives.
Yeah, and that is so good, because even when somebody gets a copy of the Maniscripting Journal, which we'll tell them how to do that here in a minute, my counsel is very similar to yours. Take it and set a 30-day goal that you're going to write something every day for 30 days. You may not fill the whole thing out, but you're going to do one thing every day for 30 days. And then after that, now we're going to do one more thing. And I mean, I tell people all the time, you didn't get here overnight. Wherever you are, you're not going to get out overnight. It's a process, but you're building habits and muscles of discipline. Is that fair? Can I say that?
100%. You nailed it right on the head. Like 100%. Yes.
Okay. All right. Let's where, I mean, we could probably talk for hours, Samantha, honestly, because this resonates with who I am, what I'm doing. And I want people to get a journal. And there are lots of journals out there and things, but you've put together a very unique one that I love, because I mean, I had a friend of mine show me his journal the other day. He's like, I've got to write all this down and put all the, and I went, oh, I mean, it was overwhelming. He loves it today. Yours seems very simple, and it can flux with the person. So 5 minutes to an hour, whatever you want. And it becomes a way to really, well, design your life. And we've got to get to the point to realize, you know, as a follower of Christ, I look at myself and I say, my future is unlimited. I have the ability to create my future because I am made in God's image. Now, I can't make things appear out of nothing like God does, but I can say, this is where I'm going, and every day focus on that and you've created something that allows people to do a similar thing, to grab hold of their future, write it down, and put it into a process that works, right? Where do people go to look at this, to find it, to buy it, to what would be the next logical step for somebody listening to this going, yeah, I really do need something different, and do it before, you know, the next thing comes out, take some action? Where would they go?
Yeah, they would go to maniscripting.com and get the Life Design Journal, because in that journal, what's really cool about it, like, yes, there's daily journaling entry pages, but here is where the journal is different from other journals out there, which I absolutely love. It starts off with a workbook section where you get totally clear on your goals. Because I think where people go wrong is they go straight into just journaling, whatever, like whether it's their goals or stuff like that, but they haven't done the homework yet on, hey, let's reflect back on what went wrong, what is no longer serving me, what I don't want to do anymore, what do I actually want to do, and have that full on clarity. Because most people, you know, we get, especially with social media and stuff, the shiny object syndrome is unreal at this point. Like, oh, you see this, you want that, you see this, you want that, you see this, you want that, you don't want to do this anymore, you're burnt out over here, la 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 la. But with the workbook section at the beginning of the journal, to go through that first, there you've basically set yourself up for the next 90 days of, here are my goals, here's the clarity. Okay, now I can focus on it every single day and follow through on it. So that is the best thing about it. And not only that, is the journal comes with an incredible support system community. So when you purchase the journal, you can come into the community, and there I host different and this is free master classes. You connect with other people, because that was another thing that I saw along my journey when I was first going through this up level and changing my life and hitting my rock bottom. I was alone. I didn't have friends I could talk to about it. I could definitely not talk to my family about it, unfortunately. And I felt so alone. And luckily I had this fire under my butt to like dig myself out, but most people don't have that. So I created a free community that you can come in, share what you're going through, come learn from others, come meet other women that are also going through the same stuff as you. It is so cool and it is so beautiful. So basically, when you come in with this, you're fully supported by everyone else that is using the journal too.
That's awesome. All right. So it's maniscripting.com. I'm going to grab that and put it into the show notes. So it's MANI, Maniscripting.com,
Mhm.
and go there. It's got a great website, lots of super cool tools, and just grab it. I mean, we all know down deep, we need a way to focus. All right. So the three words I live by, and you don't know this, Samantha, so you're about to learn, right? Clarify, simplify,
Mm,
multiply. In
mm.
that order. And what you've done is you just kind of codified that into the
Yeah.
manuscripting journal. Clarify your goals, your objectives. What do you want in life? Simplify it by getting it written down and revisiting it every day through a journal. And through that, you're going to be able to multiply your life and find the abundance you want, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be financial. It could be relational.
Mhm.
It could be
Mhm.
health. It could be 1,000 things. You just got to grab onto it. You got to get focused. You need a tool. We all need tools. Samantha has created a phenomenal tool. So go grab it. It's going to be in the show notes as well. Maniscripting.com. Go grab it. Check it out. Be part of the community because being an entrepreneur is a lonely work job,
Mhm.
right? Any last parting thoughts? Did I summarize that well?
Oh my gosh, you killed it. Like I'm over here like speechless, but just to really amplify what you said, like everyone listening, you have the power to change your life. Anything that you dislike about your life right now, or anything that you aspire to want to do or be, like go for it. Every single time that I followed my gut and my intuition, it paid off so well in so many ways. And I couldn't even imagine where my life would be today if I ignored the red flags, if I ignored my intuition. Like if it comes to you, it is meant for you, and please take action on it.
Hey, man, we will end right there. Samantha, thank you for who you are, for what you've created, and the heart behind what you're doing to help people design their life with your manuscripting journal. Thank you. Thank you for being my guest on Expert Speak today.